welcome back. We're ready to start our next run. Pokemon Crystal, Maximum Item Randomizer. Here's BadNewsNate. Whenever you're ready, please take it away.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and it is great to be back at MAGFest. Today, Pokemon Crystal Maximum Item Randomizer. So, I will cover a little bit on how Maximum Item Randomizer goes from a point of view. So, normally in a randomizer, it's regular checks, hidden items, berry trees. But in this one also, we've included other checks that you normally would not see in the game. That being phone calls, that being Pokemon checks, gym leaders, and basically anything that requires a check for the most part. So we're gonna basically go all around Johto, all around Kanto, finding all of the required items and beating red as our goal. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started here. I opt to usually turn off bike and surf music. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. So I have to set the settings to warp because that's normally what the speed tour settings are. And we did have a donation incentive for the protagonist to nickname our protagonist, and the winning nickname is...
Our winning name is Big T Cat with
Big
a $10 donation by Zomp. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zomp. I appreciate it. And yeah, and please continue to bring those donations in for Child's Play. And yeah, wow, over $10,000 already raised. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the support and for supporting a tremendous cause.
Yes, right. And if you want to donate, there is a QR code to scan. There's a link in our About page on Twitch, and there is also a website. You can go to magfest.org/magfast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, so I think everything is all set and ready to go. So I have a tracker that you might see on wherever it is on the screen. So basically, all the items that I'll be looking for are on the very bottom there. So like Pokegear, Radio Card, Expansion Card are what I need. 16 badges, some form of access to West Kanto. And again, as I mentioned, the end game goal is to defeat Red. So I think with that said, I'm all set and ready to go. Make sure we get ready on timer here. Alright, and with that, we're beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so you may notice already a big difference. Instant text is a big thing in Pokemon Crystal. Shoutouts also to T-Trash42. He personally selected the seed that I will be performing on stage. You may notice also... Yeah, I'm biking indoors. You're normally not supposed to do that, but we are doing that anyways. Normally you get Pokegear on the first check of the game, but as you can see, that's randomized also. Pokemon are also randomized here when you start the game. Pokemon are also randomized in the grass, fishing, and surfing as well. So let's take a look at our starters. Corsola, Delibird, and Crobat. Alright, we're taking the Crobat to start the run. Crobat is one of the fastest Pokemon in the game with 130 speed, I believe. So, easily can get away from encounters that you don't want to go to in the grass. Alright, so no items there in the first 2 checks of the game. So let's go ahead. I'm going to attempt to repel in this grass here. There we go. And that usually, like, I count my steps just to make sure I conserve my steps going through these patches of grass on Route 29. There's 2 checks here. There's an item ball when you start the route, and then there's this berry tree. Normally there's a berry here, but instead it is a full heal. That's fine. Now, one neat feature to Maximum Item Randomizer is the map card check that you get on Cherry Grove. So we're going to do that really quickly. Get a tour of Cherry Grove, all the buildings that exist, everything as far as information for the game, and then in the end, you will receive an item. An energy rate. Okay, so that's basically a hyper potion, but reduces happiness in the end. Okay, Let's check my items. Let's get rid of this, get rid of this. Okay, and another thing also you may notice, Shop Sanity is also a thing in Pokemon Crystal. It has been a thing for a little while. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on my X items as well. Bought a couple of X speeds for later on in the run. Those can usually come in handy for fights that Pokemon may outspeed you. Wing Attack, I may actually be tempted to teach that to my Crobat, unless it has like Drill-Peck already. I have yet to check its moveset or the item that it's holding, which I'll find out when I have a moment. If this is a better encounter that I can start with, then I'll main switch. Alright, it's not happening. Okay, that's a moveset. Dizzy Punch Earthquake, that's a great moveset to start with. I think I'm gonna commit early to the Crobat and I'll just teach it Wing Attack. I'll catch a Pokemon just as backup. Sunflora, hey, there we go. I'll just catch this as a backup in case something goes horribly wrong with this Crobat. Alright, there's 2 checks coming up here. Max Potion is hidden, and Super Potion. Those are good healing items early on in the game. There's 2 checks coming up here in Mr. Pokemon's house. The first one was an antidote, and that Professor Oak normally gives the Pokedex, but instead gives a Bind TM, so no key items of significance so far to start the run. However, that may change later on. Okay, so get a phone call normally from Professor Elm that somebody has attacked the lab and has taken a Pokemon from the beginning. We'll cross that bridge later on. For right now, let's teach Wing Attack to the Crobat. I will teach that over Thunder. Thunder does nothing for my moveset. Alright, what are you? Goldberry. Actually, I will give that right back. Goldberry is usually pretty good. It's a held item, and it heals 30 damage to your Pokemon once it hits like a certain threshold. Alright, Weeping Bell. Alright, let's just use Wing Attack. Wing Attack is pretty good as far as power points or PP in short. It is 35 power points. Earthquake is, in my opinion, the best physical move in the game. Sing, yeah, I'll teach it. Like, if I ran this Crobat the entire way, it has a Sing move already for red, and usually a Sleep move is one of the big equalizers in the later fights. With the best Sleep move obviously being Spore in this generation. Okay, normally you don't do checks in the dark unless you have Zephyr Badge and the corresponding HM, that being Flash. But I usually know my way around the beginning, and I just pick up the item anyways, so I just do that regardless. There's the Machine Part. Machine Part is a item that you deliver to the power plant in Kanto. That check won't be until very later on. Oh no, there's my Pokegear menuing rip. But Machine Part you turn in is usually part of the quest to get Pass. But those are locked behind the specific HMs, behind Surf, behind potentially Flash or Cut, whichever shows up first, and that becomes a logic. Alright, we're in Violet now. Let's check and see what the shop has. Super Repels are very expensive. Ooh, Amulet Coin. Okay, that's a good item to have early, because Amulet Coin normally doubles your monetary earnings for every fight that you do, and the money usually adds up for every fight. Okay, there's a Moonstone. I was looking for escape ropes there, but I didn't see any, unfortunately. Did I check this down here? I did, okay. I just wanted to double check. Alright, how's my Crobat holding up? Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take on Sprout Tower to start our checks here in Violet. There are several items that I have to pick up along the way. Normally, Flash is up this way, but again, that's randomized in the pool among so many checks in the game. Alright, so Weeping Bell, almost a Bellsprout though. That's close. Very close to a what kind of rando. Oh, that's an Earthquake. You may notice also, again, instant text usually makes the game go much quicker, and that's one of the key things that the randomizer has, is that instant text kind of saves time. And also you may notice I'm biking indoors, like I said previously. You normally don't bike indoors, but with one of the new features that the randomizer settings has. You can bike indoors in specific areas. You can also escape rope or dig out of marts or gyms. Making Claire's gym very easy later on, and it also makes getting out of most department stores more convenient as well. Okay, so we're coming up on the second stage on the top floor here. We got one more stage, and the stage has 3 pokes. Usually, oh, that's Thunderbolt. Okay, that's bad. Alright, that's not a good mon to see early on. But anyways. Sage Lee has a level 10 ace in his party, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what it is. Ultra Ball. I have another Goldberry. I'll just burn that. Okay, so... Okay, first one is a Ledian. That's gone. Level 10. Laffy. Quick, okay. I'm surprised it didn't one-shot it, but that's fine. That's fine. Earthquake did its job. That's the most important thing. Oh, I get the wing attack of Paris. Oh, you poor thing. Paris is quad weak to flying type, if it wasn't obvious enough. Quad weak to flying or fire. So, most unfortunate. My repel wear out. Do I have a spare repel? I do not, unfortunately. Alright, I may get an encounter on the way out, and I don't have an escape rope, so unfortunately I cannot get out in that method. Therefore, I have to take the Bike of Shame out of here. Definitely feels bad. I'm going to take the safe strat here, and I'm going to heal in the Pokemon Center. So that way I can prepare for Faulkner's gym, the gym leader of Violet. And yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully not as bad as that Golduck that I saw in Sprout Tower. Okay, Sand Slash. I'm going to have to try... Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, Paralysis. Okay, that's not good. Okay. I did not get fully paralyzed. That would have been pretty bad. Scary Face. How convenient, but no thank you. Do I have a status heal for this? I do not. Oh, I do actually. I saw the full heal there. Let's give you the Amulet Coin now that the Goldberry's gone. As I said, Amulet Coin will be very helpful later on for the run. So, like I said previously, all the pokes are randomized on every single trainer. Sometimes the occasional what kind of rando might pop up, and it might be a case of, hey, this trainer has this exact Pokemon, like, what's going on? Let's fully heal with the Super Potion here. I'm gonna mark off a couple checks really quickly, because so far it seems like it's just gonna be a linear start to the run. Slugma, okay, that's gone. Yeah, I saw Earthquake and Dizzy Punch on the first part of the moveset, and I'm like, oh, that's good enough for me. And then Wing Attack was kind of like the icing on the cake there. Okay. Alright, nothing significant. However, oh, okay, that's very good information. Spore, as I said, is the best sleep move in the game. Faulkner's TM is Spore, and there's one of those somewhere as a check in this game. So I'm very happy to see that. It'll make for a very good red fight later. Take another heal. And one thing also that the Speech Race has for Pokemon Crystal is instant egg hatching. So you can take a certain amount of steps, and then the egg will hatch right away. I've seen a particular runner by the name of Snowbear22 who has hatched the egg in only one step. Also, I forgot to buy repels. Whoops. I'm waiting for the moment that I just accidentally forget to repel, and then I encounter a full-on shiny. Wouldn't that be a pleasant surprise? Alright, let's buy Super Repel. Wow, yeah, Super Repels are very expensive. I'm just gonna get 5 for my journey. I'm much were lemonades? Lemonades are 640. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on those for now. Because I'm sure there might be a better option somewhere. Okay, there's my egg hatching. And what is it? It's a Ponyta. And the eggs can be anything as well. It's a 1 in 251. It could even have been Celebi. Okay, so no moves. Just double checking this moveset here. Okay. I was just primarily looking for Dig on the moveset there. Dig is a very fantastic move to have as far as field moves. It replaces basically an escape rope, and you can just basically escape rope out without having to use one in most locations where you can just use an escape rope. Okay, protein is good. Okay, we've got a couple more checks on this route, and then we have all of Union Cave coming up. And usually, when I prioritize checks, I usually prioritize what's called check density. Oh, there's a squirt bottle. Alright, squirt bottle early on is kind of a questionable call. Like, I could turn around and go check what the level 20 is, but because of how good the Crobat is, I'm just going to continue my normal routing, and I'm going to opt to do Azalea with the Crobat that I have already. I'm pretty comfortable with its moveset, and I'm comfortable that it will probably get through the gym.
We have received a donation. Would you like me to read it out?
Absolutely, yes, please.
We have received a $10 donation from Tricos. Hey Nate, sending love from the Crystal Randomizer community. You're crushing it, bud. A bonus $10 incentive for each menace you defeat. You know what you have to do.
It starts with a C. Actually, I can just spell it out for you right now. It starts with a C, L, E, double F, and an A. What does that spell? Cleffa! Thank you so much, Trickums, and shout out to the Pokémon Crystal Randomizer community as well. All great support and great community members as well. I've always had the honor and the privilege to race against various community members, and you know, they deserve all the love and all the support too. So again, thank you so much to them for all the support.
Huge thanks. I would like to note that there are a bunch of Crystal Randomizer community members cheering you on in the chat.
Much love to them as well. Thank you so much again, guys.
Thank you all for showing up. We appreciate it so much. Once again, we're fundraising for Child's Play. Feel free to donate money to Child's Play. They do amazing things such as bringing games and board games to children in hospitals. Amazing people doing things for amazing children. We have a QR code. You can go to our website magfast.com/magfest, or you can go to the link in our Twitch about.
So let's see what that special defense move was. It was Crunch. Okay, Crunch is a pretty solid move overall. Unfortunately, there are no badge boosts in the game for Dark-type moves, but still, it is the best Dark-type move in the game, nevertheless. As I said, I'm sticking with Crobat. It has Wing Attack, Earthquake, and Dizzy Punch. It's a good enough moveset for right now. And we're coming up on our first section with Team Rocket. Team Rocket, as you may know in the vanilla game, we're stealing Slowpoke tails here in Slowpoke Well, and Kurt was trying to stop Team Rocket, but couldn't do so, unfortunately. So Kurt relies on our help to save the Slowpoke tails, save the Slowpoke, and thwart Team Rocket from their evil plan. I'm gonna just take the sleep here. Okay, it's not doing anything. I was about to say, why is that Dodrio setting up? It must not have had a move for me, but I digress. I think the only move I would take over Sing right now is Sword Stance, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Alright, Kabuto. No, it's not Praise Lord Dome. Yeah, you know which fossil to praise. Oh. Well, I did not expect that one, or I should say, I did not unexpect that one. Okay, last fight in the Slowpoke Well. It is a level 14 Mon. Let's see what it is. Alligator. Okay, that could be a little bit of trouble. Actually, I'm going to set up the X attack that I have right now for this one. Alright, Metal Claw's good. Shadow Ball, not so much. So Crobat only has, like, a decent amount of attack. It's more of, like, it has the most amount of speed. It has 130 speed. That's basically what you need for the most part in the game. Alright, and because we defeated the Rockets, we get a full heal, and let's go take on Azalea's gym leader, Bugsy. See what kind of plan he has. Fun fact, the twins in the first fight in the gym, if you alternate between one or the other to start with, on the left side you get 2 different encounter slots that you face. If you fight on the right side, it's 2 different Pokemon that you face. There's that. Normally we take the left side because it's the fastest route. So this one poke, oh, Executor, okay, that's good. Oh, Fire Blast. So Fire Blast could be a problem, but not that time. Alright, we're coming up on Azalea's gym leader, Bugsy. I'm gonna start marking checks here as well. On my screen, right in front of me, I have a tracker that I use to keep track of my checks and keep track of everything that I've done so far, plus the items that I have. So it's very convenient and very helpful in runs like these. Lickitung, okay. Fun fact about Lickitung, Lickitung actually is one of the Pokemon checks that I may have to do later. So, Pokemon checks are a new addition to maximum item randomizers. Bill's grandpa on Route 25 has 5 Pokemon that he wants you to show him as part of Pokemon checks. Those checks in order are Lickitung, Oddish, Staryu, Growlithe, and Pichu. There are other Pokemon checks that count towards items in the game. Those Pokemon being Marill, Pikachu, Clefairy, Togepi, Magikarp, and Unknown. So there's a grand total there of 11 Pokemon. Got a Zap Cannon in there, that's pretty good. But now we're coming up on the rival. We gave rival, I believe it was I remember what it was. Anyways, find out here in a second. Oh, it's Corsola. Yeah, it was Corsola we gave him. Ow, that thing's got Blizzard. That hurts. Albeit Blizzard may be the most powerful move in the game, its accuracy is terrible. That move got nerfed in Gen 2, unfortunately. Went from, like, I think it was 90 accuracy to about 70 accuracy. The same accuracy as, like, what Thunder has. Alright, take 4 steps here. My Repel's still active. I just wanted to double check and see if my Repel was either active or not active. Alright, so normally you get cut with this check, but I'm gonna also start doing checks in the forest alongside with this. Alright, one more time. Alright, let's see what this check is. Okay, escape rope. I'm gonna save, and I am gonna use that rope. Normally I would save this escape rope because there's the Ruins of Alph chambers that require 4 different types of interactions to open the chambers. Alright, so since I saved, I'm just going to soft reset and just go right back into the forest. Keeping my escape rope. But anyways, on topic with the Ruins of Alph, there's 4 chambers that open with interactions. One of them's the escape rope chamber, meaning you have to use an escape rope to escape rope out of the chamber, and the chamber opens. The second one is a flash chamber, meaning you need Flash and Zephyr Badge alongside with Surf in order to unlock that. The third one is the Waterstone chamber, which there is an icon second row to the far right side of your screen there. We need Waterstone to get access to the Waterstone chamber, but you also need Surf and Strength to get access to that as well. And then the final chamber is the Ho-Oh chamber, so you have to ascend Tin Tower and interact with the Ho-Oh at the very top in order to get access there too. checks. Okay, I'm gonna grab the odd egg really quickly. The odd egg, ironically, has a, I think it was about a 1 in 8 chance for a shiny to come out of here. So we'll see if that's a shiny here in a second. Boot Tutor is also in the speed choice. It's in Goldenrod. Spark's not a bad move. I'll keep that in mind for later should I switch to a special-oriented Pokemon. Well, let's see what's in the odd egg. Is it shiny? What is it? It's a Ghastly. I've always loved the Ghastly evolution line. Like, Gengar is one of my favorite mons. I should have brought the Gengar plushie that I have at home. It's got Headbutt, that's funny. Alright, not a shiny, unfortunately. Boo! But, still a pretty good mon that we can take with us on our journey. Alright, some checks down here that need to be done, and then we're gonna check all of the department store in Goldenrod and see exactly what's hiding there. Again, badges could be in the shop, key items. Speaking of key items, that's a Silver Wing. Not particularly useful towards checks, but if you get access to Whirl Islands later, that could be a level 60 encounter that we can check. So, could make or break the run. Thunderstone, okay. How much was that Revival Herb? Oh, that's expensive. Oh, no thank you. Apper for Fortress. I usually like to check the trades every now and then as well, just to make sure that if there's like an interesting trade that I may look at, that I have my eyes on it. Let's max Repel. Regular Repels might actually be the buy here, and I hate it. Alright. Yeah. Nothing in this shop. There's the Waterstone. Wait, Waterstone's on floor 4? What kind of rando? So usually the stones, I think, are in like 3 different locations, if I remember correctly. Accuracy. I'll get 1 for right now. In fact, I made lower speed. That could be Bubble. Bubble Beam. Constrict. Particularly not good news. Sweet Scent's also good as well, considering that if we have to go for Pokemon checks later, we have that TM available for us. Wow, I'm surprised. Nothing in the shop. Alright, I'm gonna save before going to the bike shop because I do not want to take the bike shop call if there is a nothing here. It's money, but it's not useful, so I'm gonna go ahead and just reset it away. Also find it interesting, we haven't found a single badge so far. But that's bound to change. That is absolutely bound to change. Given the circumstance that we got Squirt Bottle on Route 32. By the way, radio card quiz is usually yes, yes, no, yes, no. Or top, top, bottom, top, bottom. And then that gives you a check. Gosh, what is up with the status heals right now? That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, NPC. That was kind of rude. Alright. There's some shops down here as well, along with several items that are just laying on the ground. Also, that's a bear. Bear! Ah, extreme speed. Okay, that was kind of bad. Alright. I shouldn't have sold those super potions so well. Guess I'm burning a hyper. I really don't want to, but it is what it is. Alright. Orpo fight here, and then there is a hidden right in front of the basement door that I have to check, because that could actually be of importance. As you can see, the Crobat is getting the job done, so, I mean, I don't regret the decision. It's actually a really good mon, in hindsight. Spikes. A line that actually we hear in Sonic Colors, one of the voice actors goes, Spikes! Leftovers is pretty good early. There's Cut. Okay, that's an HM for some checks later. Correctly mark that. I'll mark that in a second. Wow. Okay, so that's the only thing that's down here is Cut. Okay, mark that. There we go. Alright, now it's on to Whitney's Gym. So there's two fights that we have to do. The first one is the level 18 for the first fight, and then Whitney's two pokes. Hopefully one of them's not a mill tank. Okay, that's an earthquake. And on topic with Pokemon Crystal as well, Gen 2 I'm such a huge sucker for. It's one of my favorite gens of all time now. I know a lot of folks would say that they have different opinions on different gens and what they like. This, in my opinion, might be like the gen that really like kickstarted Pokemon for me. Even though like I played Gen 1, I'm not really too fond of Gen 1. Gen 2 is like where things really took off. Alright, that's Whitney down. That was a pretty easy fight. Antidote and Maxi Throw. Okay, so Whitney had nothing. A lot of her checks, I have a feeling, are going to be in North Johto. Really haven't found too much in this area. I am going to pick up the Kenya over here at the guardhouse. That's locked behind two checks, turning in the Kenya and getting the item for delivering the mail. We'll do that. Let's see, where are my repels? Oh no, am I out of repels? I am out of repels. Okay, I'll come back to this later. One thing of importance, and I forgot to do it. Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna do bug catching contest. Bug catching contest is also part of the maximum item pool. It's a Shuckle. Okay. This is still fine though, because I don't need to repel particularly. I mean, it would be recommended if I did, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a Seadra 14 that might actually get second, third. It's either second, third, or probably wins, depending on what other mons show up in the results. There's also 3 items behind this gate too. Rare candy's very nice to see. The more rare candies, the better, because the rare candies could play a huge factor later on when we fight Red. Okay, protein, second item. Gosh, I wish I would stop bonking. Okay, there we go. Oh, got third place. Okay, that's actually the hardest of the two to get, is second and third. Because there are so many mons that exist that are of high level and could just automatically win you the bug catching contest. Alright, let's see what we got this time. Oh, Wooper. No, I do not want to Swooper the Wooper. Okay, Scizor in the bug catching contest. Like, what the actual rando? That should win for sure. It didn't? What? Okay. That's weird. Normally, at that level, it usually wins. What's your item? Oh, that was holding a candy. That's nice. Thank you, Seadra. Your service is greatly appreciated. And can we at least place first? Oh my gosh, is that the one thing that's going to give us a problem? Oh, not anymore. I think 11 Articuno still wins. It is a bulky mon, and it's a legendary, so... I would not be surprised if it does get second, third, but I gotta give it a try. Second, okay. Well, unfortunate. All we can do is just try again, you know? Unfortunate. I know 15 and Chop's not going to win. It is too low HP and does not have enough levels. Oh, okay, that's a good find. I'll take Constellation. Meryl is actually a check that I could do right now in National Park. Pokefan Beverly, who is the bottom fight in the grass here, actually gives a nugget for having Meryl in your party and gives you a phone call. So I will gladly take Constellation Prize. Alright, let's just see if I can get first place. Yeah. First smiling like that, not with that attitude. 13 Cool Lava will not do it, that'll get second, third, I know for a fact. Just give me some. No. 15 Merle will not do it. That would get third place in the contest, I believe. My goodness. I've seen, I think, 4 different encounter slots, and the one that could have won it for me... Oh, wait, Scyther's in the contest? What kind of rando? That'll actually win the contest. Nothing behind contest. It's a good thing I checked. And speaking of checking, let's see what the level 20 is. Oh no, the longest cry in the game. No, actually, you know what? NT. Alright, for store. I'm going to start the first half of the Canyon Quest while I'm headed in this direction. I also need to grab some repels because I did not buy any while I was in Goldenrod. Okay. I just hate how repels are expensive in this seed, but, you know, not much that can be done. Oh, okay. Wow, that's actually pretty funny. I can't believe the Zephyr badge is on the first half. You knew sooner or later it had a chance to happen with the way things have been going. We didn't get a single badge in, like, say, like, the first, like, half hour of this run, which is actually unreal. But, I'm gonna try and do rollout next, and then just go to Equity. If either rollout or the Kenya check part 2 have nothing, then I'm just gonna soft reset here. So I'm just saving right here where the Sudowoodo was before. Take the route up here, and then I'll just go back to Route 35. I'll consider Beverly for later because phone calls are absolutely not in logic right now. Like, it's not even close. What do I have in Crobat? Okay. It's just one poke here, and then I just got one check coming up. Wait, why does Arnie have a bug Pokemon? Huh. Normally it's Venonat that he has, but I don't know. Alright, one more check here. Man, I just love when the spinners in Spinner Hell are just rotating and just not, like, actually spinning. Okay, there's nothing there. Let's go ahead and mark those off. And go to Equity City. Thunderstone. Storm Badge. Okay, that's actually huge. That is our first half of Fly. Storm Badge with Fly, we can basically access wherever checks are possible. Considering if we fly to, like, locations that we've been. So once we enter a city, then our fly location is enabled at that spot. Okay, thanks for the second Waterstone, I guess. That can probably get sold, or I could use that as an evolution for later. Oh my gosh, another Waterstone? Okay, this is actually absurd. Speaking of checks that I can backtrack for, let's go ahead and do the escape rope chamber that I had a chance to do earlier but forgot. As I said before, the escape rope chamber does have some checks that are locked behind the interaction, so let's escape rope out, and you're going to see that the back chamber opens for 4 items. Alright, anything useful? Nope, nothing of interest. 2 full heals it looked like, but not worth at this time. Considering that full heals are not a bad price in the shop. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go this way. Because I have one of the 2s there for badge checks that I can do here. The Miracle Seed check. Right here on Route 32. Okay, rare candy's pretty good. Candies usually go a long way, like I said, towards the end of the game, when you have to fight red. So there's that. Alright, I've checked everything here. I think my best course of action would be to just go east and check everything on Route 42. If there's nothing else here, then I'll turn around and I'll start Critique checks. I'm not too primarily fond of doing Critique City, but if it's required, then, you know, I'll be willing to oblige. Double check my badges. Okay, so just 2. Escape rope, got that back. And there's one more check here, is the hidden on the right side. I'm gonna save, and then I'll start doing checks in Mahogany, Route 43, and Lake of Rage. Alright, next shop coming up. Alright, nothing of interest here. So we gotta check by the guardhouse here. And then we got a couple more at Lake of Rage. But like I said, if nothing's here, I'll just soft reset back to when I was in Mount Mortar and just escape rope out and go back the other way. Primarily, it's not that big of a deal. When you have to go around Johto and do all these checks and everything, it's more of trying to figure out what your optimal routing is. So there's that. And alright, nothing there. Let's go ahead and soft reset. Let's go right back. This up here. I normally don't like escape ropes on the first slot in my menu because I have a bad habit of selecting the first item that's in my bag inventory, and escape rope is not what you want there. Alright, we're gonna fight the Kimono Girls. It's 5 different fights for 1 check. Alright, Porygon. Earlier in a seed that I did offline... Oh, that's Perish Song. Earlier in a seed that I did, one of the Kimono Girls had a Flareon, and it might have actually been the vanilla Flareon. Oh gosh, Snorlax. Please. Okay. Could be worse, I guess. This Crobat is putting in a lot of work, though, so I am not complaining at all. Stat experience is kind of helping its cause. Fortress, oh boy. Oh, what's the point of splashing? If for all you folks that are familiar with Pokemon Stadium, if you know, you know. Always been a fan of the Stadium games. Chat, if you loved Pokemon Stadium, please type 1. If you love Stadium 2, please type 2.
I'll wait a few minutes and then I'll tell you the result.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. While I'm on the mic, I'd like to share something real quick. MAGFAST is here for an important reason of raising money for an amazing charity. Along with that amazing cause, we encourage you, the viewers, to take time to enjoy our event and all it has to offer. We hope that it lightens the mood of whatever members of our audience might be dealing with. We are here to entertain, and we hope that we can bring a smile to their face or even get them through their day. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well for that. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that has donated throughout the last couple days here at MAGFest. As again, we are over $10,000 in donations for Child's Play. Let's see if we can push that up some more before the end of this run. Thank you very much again for all the support, you guys. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you all for your support once again. We are fundraising for Child's Play. The donation links are conveniently put in a QR code for your scanning convenience. You can also go to magfest.org/magfest, or you can hit that link in our Twitch bio.
Yeah, I thought I purchased... Well, actually, no, I didn't purchase full heals. I thought I had a full heal in my bag already, but I guess not. I'll just let the sleep process go through. I think the only thing probably I would have had is a 4-store, but I don't feel like using them right now. I'll just save them for later, where they could be of some importance. Okay, that could have been actually important. That was a blizzard from a giraffe rig. Revive. Okay, apparently this giraffe rig has compound eyes. It's not missing blizzard. Oh my gosh. Alright, 1 HP in a dream. Let's go. Alright, I am going to need a little bit of serious time here for just a second, because I'm going to check the cries on the rumors, and I'm going to decide whether or not I want to go for it. So, here we go. Just save before this. Alright, let's listen. That was Dugong, Nidorino, and I believe that was... Sounded like Tauros at first, but I don't think it was. I'm gonna go for the Nidorino, and you'll know if I get it if you hear the music, so I'll give it one shot. Alright, here we go. Will it show up first try? The answer is... Come on, please show up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, unfortunate. Alright. No. Crobat's superior anyway, so let's go ahead and continue. Now, usually the strat that we runners try to do is that we usually save before encountering the roamers, and we either go to Route 38, which is west of Ecruteak, or we select to try that patch of grass on Route 37. Depending on which roamer you're going for, the Raikou, you usually would go to Route 38, and the Entei is Route 37. So I was opting to go for the Nidorino because I believe I had information on the Moonstone, and I could have use Nidoking down the line. But this Crobat can get the job done, I believe. Oh, nice jump kick crashing. How does it even kick? With its leaves? One thing I also should have mentioned as well, any Pokemon can actually learn any move in the speech voice settings, so that's one unique thing when it comes to all the moves that the Crobat has right now. Speech voice allows us to do a lot of great things with Crystal. Alright, that was an easy fight. Alright, second to last fight before we fight Morty. And Morty has been kind of a meme, I guess you would say, in the Crystal Randomizer community. One of the runners, and there's actually a team called Never Morty, and the reason being for that is because Morty's usually never required. In some instances, I actually disagree because I've had runs recently where Morty actually was like 100, 200% required. But we're about to find out if Morty actually is what you call a scam. Also, goodbye Parasect. Blood weak to wing attack. Never stood a chance. Orb. Alright. What's your ace, Morty? God. Oh, okay, that actually... Oh, I'm walled by this thing. What kind of rando? Why does Morty have a Mon with Shadow Ball? Fall asleep, please? No, I'm burned! Alright, burn status is pretty bad on this Crobat because... long story short, it decreases my attack. And I take damage in return. Do I have any X attacks left? I don't think I do, no. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to just play this out. Let's see if I can get a confusion. Oh, there we go. Perfect. That was clutch. Alright, way to go, Crobat. Oh, you're kidding. You're actually kidding. I hate it here.
It's so over.
It's so
it's
Jover.
so over.
It's so Jover. Alright, let's put people to shambles and let's teach Fly to Sunflora, because why not? How else would it fly? Kinda reminds me of the Piranha Plant from Super Mario Sunshine, just saying.
True.
Charizard. Fun fact, my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon of all time. Overrated, yes, but understandable. Antidote, okay. Do I have a Repel up? I do. Let's see if I may actually run into a Roamer I did not. It's because I've had a habit every now and then of hopping that ledge, and I just encounter a Roamer within like a step or two. Alright, nothing here. I am gonna get my Fly Point. Actually, I want to show something off very neat that some folks may not know about Fly. Normally, you're not supposed to get Fly until you've reached Olivine and then you've surfed over to Signwood. But there's a neat feature that you can do when you fly upon entering the city. By the way, I'm gonna talk to Derek again to get Pikachu info. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna enter the city, I'm gonna fly, and I want you to pay attention to something that you may not know about. I'm gonna show you some of the water right here on Route 40. Talk to Monica first. Next attack. Take a look at the water. Look who's standing there. Yep, you see that correctly. That's the rival. So, there's a little bit of a glitch, I guess, that occurs in the game. It's not known, but I guess when you get Fly and Storm Badge early, I mean, you're not supposed to get it earlier than you're intended to. That glitch happens if you don't talk to the rival at the gym. So that's how that occurs. Also, that was basement key, so I'll mark that just a little bit. Okay. Get some ropes real quickly while I'm here. Actually, let me sell some items. I already have the water stone, so I'm not too concerned. Also an X-Men, sure. Get some ropes. 10 more. Max speeds. Should be good enough. I'm gonna quickly do one check that was in the early part of the game, Route 29. That is, Tuscany, one of the weekly siblings, and also a Zephyr badge check. So there's that. Okay, nothing there. Alright, so I think our unlock is going to be in the lighthouse, because I have no other checks left. Alright, so whatever's in lighthouse is going to be our progression. It could be the pass, could be SS ticket, it could be, who knows, like surf and fog badge in here. It could really be anything, but we'll find out soon enough once we get up towards the top of the lighthouse. Lapras. Oh, I never elixired. Oh well. I'll elixir after this fight. It's only one poke. Alright, we'll come back to Huey probably a little bit later on if we have to turn in machine part. Huey is locked behind a machine part. And usually when you talk to Huey, it's a rematch call. Use some max ethers, get those out. Just because, why not? Alright, there's the Nidoking I could have had earlier. This could have been me, but I got stuck with the bat. Oh, okay. Nice de-evolution. Moonlight, no. Not really a good move, honestly. Alright. After this fight, we're going to start doing some checks. I think there's about 5 items that we have to check. Actually, I think there's 6. Just double check my tracker and make sure here. Yeah, there's about 6 or 7. Pink bow. Not necessary. Secret. Oh, what? Alright, well, I guess I'm turning this in right now to Jasmine. Jasmine accidentally dropped the secret potion. No wonder why the Amphi's sick. Come on, Jasmine, you had one job. Oh, there's the pass. Okay, that's our progression. That's our actual progression. So the pass gives us access to Kanto without having to turn in the machine part.
I perked up for a little bit because my actual name is Jasmine. So
Oh.
I was like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? I was like, oh, a character's named Jasmine. Oh my god, my bad.
You're
my
okay, I promise. Just don't let it happen next time.
Yeah,
Please
I'll
and thank
promise
you.
not to.
All's well that ends well, I guess. Alright. I will come back to Jasmine later, but right now I need to go to Kanto. Start doing checks there. Alright, here we go. Going on a new adventure. One thing that makes me sad about some of the music in the game is that some of the Kanto music, like for Cinnabar Island, they didn't use the iconic Gen 1 theme for it. Instead, they used this recycled music that's from like Saffron and stuff like that. It's a good thing that Heart Gold Soul Silver changed that in later gens. Alright, what do we have? Boulder badge. Okay, that's a badge. X specials are here, so I gotta keep that in mind. Actually, I don't need to save. I forgot to have fly. I don't need to worry about save resetting. It's just muscle memory, because if I don't have fly storm badge, I usually just save up here, go to Route 25, and check this hidden that's at the very top. Okay, it's a hyper potion. Back to Cerulean, because we have one check that's on Route 5 right here. So going down where the old daycare used to be. Hop these ledges, and there's a check in here. Normally, I think it's spell tag that the old woman gives you, but it's a randomized item. Alright, coming up on our next shop here in Saffron. That's Haze. those max potions are expensive. Alright, I'm gonna have to probably consider just hyper potions for the run. It's a good thing I have Amulet Coin attached to my Mon. Otherwise, this would have been a massive problem. Alright, one more check. Radio card, that's actually progression, because that counts towards 3 pieces of the Pokegear. So you need the Pokegear itself, the radio card, and the expansion card, because those 3 components allow you to wake up the Snorlax right by Vermilion. Alright, we're checking the curse guy here. Normally I save before going up to the curse check, and if there's nothing there, I just soft reset. Which I will do. Usually I pick and choose where I save and soft reset if there's nothing, so it's more of understanding where your checks are and how you approach them. Alright, one more. Shadow Ball, okay, that's not a bad move. I'll consider that later if I stick with the Crobat. And it actually gives me coverage against rock mons, with the exception of Tyranitar being dark and rock. Alright. What do we have? Sell most of our items that we don't need. On the left shop. Rising Badge, that's actually pretty good. Fog Badge. The 2 badges in the shop. Mark those really quickly. That is 6 badges, so... no, that's 5, excuse me. We're 2 away from 7 badges. Nothing on 3rd floor. We've got 4th, 5th floor, and the vending machines coming up. GS Ball, that would have been good if I was in Azalea, but not needed anymore. Alright, nothing else here. So check the vending machines and get out of here. Whirlpool. So Whirlpool, you have to use with the Glacier Badge, and that's part of the access to Whirl Islands for later as well. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna attempt to get my fly point to Fuchsia City, and then I'm gonna head towards Lavender. See if I can do that. Card key. Oh boy. Okay, this kind of puts a strain on things because if I get 7 badges, then I think card key is going to be the unlock. So finding that card key early is not terrible, but it's not ideal, if that makes sense. Alright, it's one trainer. I think it's a level 34 mon that's blocking. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a 34. And it's not a good one either. Okay, so... Exact. I'm gonna play it safe and just... Exact sing. So that way I can just get through this fight. Articuno's not gonna be going away anytime soon. Oh, nice. Sleep fusion. Okay, good. Had to put the cheese on that one. We haven't checked Vermilion, and we haven't checked Lavender yet. I'll check Vermilion first, and then I'll go Lavender. But having that Fog Badge is pretty big, because if I get Surf here, I can just check for an encounter in the water. And encounter slots here are level 30 through 39. Alright, not here. I do need repels, though. Gosh, get it together, Nate. Get some repels. One more. Nothing else here. Alright, that leaves one city in particular, and that's Lavender. Now the question is, where's Flash? I'll check my HMs really quickly, see what I got. So just cut Flying Whirlpool. Flash, I think, is going to be the unlock for Rock Tunnel if I find it. Because normally, Raw Tunnel are checks that require Flash to be in Logic. Rock Smash. Okay, the Rock Smash is available to us now. Still not too much in logic because there are some checks in the dark locked behind Rock Smash. There are a few checks here that I will do. Jump Kick is actually interesting because that gives me more rock coverage than, what was it, Dizzy Punch? Alright, escape rope, and then I got one more check coming up here. But at least I have my fly points up and ready to go in case I need to come back later. Pedal dance is not great. Alright, so I've marked off all my checks. I'm gonna do the one-off check. I'm gonna do the Rising Badge check. And that's where I'm gonna nickname the rival. I'm gonna do this one on my own accord here. This is what I discussed about earlier. Here we go, Dr. Eggman. Alright, Rising Badge is nothing, but it gives us info for Togepi. Alright, so I have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna fight Jasmine. Not particularly a fan of this fight, but sure. I'm gonna do the save PC strat. So, in Gen 2, if you deposit a Mon by just simply saving and just transferring it to your PC box, you can do what's called a PC heal, and it automatically status heals and fully heals your Pokemon. Alright, I'm gonna save before this fight. This fight could get very disastrous if something goes horribly wrong. Jasmine has 3 pokes. Her ace is a level 35, so who knows what it will be. Alright, it's a good start already. Thunder Punch, it's not a problem. That is a problem, however, because what Jasmine's going to do now is going to use a Hyper Potion and heal any kind of damage off of Sandslash. Sandslash is her ace. Submission, okay. Got the recoil damage there, so that's a good start. Okay, speed drop's not great. That's bad. Waking up on turn 1 is actually awful. Take advantage of stab here. Oh, I got paralyzed. Thank goodness I have 4 restores. Nice crit. That actually mattered. Oh, Marowak. Okay. It doesn't even have a move for it. It just has Ember and Missile. Okay, this fight's free now. Alright, what do you got? Wow, nothing. Okay, so nothing required on Jasmine. Whatever our progression is going to be in Kanto. I guess it's going to be Janine. We'll try Janine. I do need to heal first before the fight. I really hope Janine has nothing. That will be very frustrating. I'm gonna give Shadow Ball to the Crobat. I'm gonna teach it over Dizzy Punch. Dizzy Punch really doesn't do too much more. And just added a physical. Alright, first Kanto Gym Leader. Why does the AI have to hit Dynamic Punch every time? That's unfortunate. Oh, come on. See, Dynamic Punch is not 50 accurate for the AI, it's 100%. We all know this. Steelix. think I picked up another accuracy. Yeah, that's a little bit of trouble. Alright, swapping out. That is a special Steelix if I've seen one. Ice Beam Thunder Punch. Oh, unknown info, very nice. Ow! Okay, that actually is terrifying. Oh, come on. I'm gonna burn a revive. That's embarrassing. How are you gonna let an unknown just unown you? I digress. Alright. A little bit of a difficult fight, but we got past Janine. Okay, nothing on Janine. I guess our next target is Route 25? I think Route 25 logically could be what the progression is, and if so, that's terrifying. I may be tempted to break logic in Rock Tunnel and see what's there, but I think it's either Route 25 or Sabrina that has the progression. But I think Route 25 is a good play. Now, I can't access Erica's gym or Surge's gym because I don't have Cut or Surf. So, that knocks those out of the equation. Wow. Alright, well. That is a problem. Wow, this cloister's cracked. Alright, barely got through that fight by the skin of my teeth. I think now I'm gonna have to replace the amulet coin with leftovers. Just because I keep getting hit with either a critical hit or a super effective move. These fights in particular, nothing really too spectacular about them. I guess if we have downtime, I guess we can talk about Child's Play, if you want to go ahead and do that for us, please.
Of course, Child's Play is a charity organization that provides entertainment via video games and board games to children's hospitals around the world. They have 190 plus partner hospitals throughout the entire world, including but not limited to the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, a bunch of places. Whoa! They have funded over 44 gaming and tech specialists employed in hospitals. They also provide a bunch of things, such as drawing-to-screen systems, 3D printers, and telepresence robots, allowing patients virtual access to PAX West. Whoa, that's cool. If you support cool people who do cool things for amazing children, please feel free to donate to Child's Play. We currently have raised $10,689.69. Nice. And
Nice.
our goal is $12,000. So if you feel so inclined to, scan the QR code, go to magfast.org/magfest, or click the link in our Twitch bio to donate to Child's Play.
And again, to emphasize on that as well, every donation is very vital. And again, we thank you so much for all of your support, folks.
Every single dollar counts. Even if you only have $1, that is more than enough. Thank you very much, everyone.
Alright, how do I want to play this out? I guess I'll full send. I only have 2 fights left, and then I need to check and see what the fabulous prize is. I really hope I didn't miss a check. I've had that happen in practice earlier, and it was not a fun time. I think I've done every check correctly though, so I think I should be fine. Oh, that poor Parasect, goodbye. Alright, so we're still relatively early in the run, and anything can happen. Alright. Now let's see if this is the unlock. If so, that's actually not great. Oh! Well, what a game. That's unreal. It gives us cut access now, and that is our progression. Are you kidding me? That's maximum item random for it. Oh, there's a Cleffa. Goodbye. That's for you, Trickums.
Chat's breaking out.
Oh, they've seen my fair share of plays and randomizers like this. It's unreal. Right. Did I teach Whirlpool this thing? I did not. Do that right now. I'm just trying to get my HMs taught before I proceed. Let's see. Alright, back to Fuchsia we go. So, now some checks got unlocked because of the result of cut and high badge being obtained. Alright, so let's go ahead and do just that. Nothing on Route 15. However, again, because we got cut now, we can now check the shop since it was previously locked behind this cut bush. So that'll give us a few more checks to take a look at. Also heard user, I think that's like double edge, I want to say. Yeah, get the accuracies. Get the X accuracies always. Alright, nothing in Fuchsia. Well, nothing else, at least right now. Alright, there's two checks here that I'm gonna go ahead and do real quick. And then I'm gonna go check Lake of Rage. Lake of Rage has a pretty good check density. I think we're like, I would say 5 items, I want to say. It's like 4 or 5 items. Oh. It's this check right here. Oh yeah, that's right, I don't have the fly for me anymore. I reset that away, duh. That was earlier when I was doing checks. But I would have never known that Route 25 was required until I was down to either that or Sabrina. Those were the two logical choices left. Either one were not good options, but I picked the one that was like easily the worst option, and I was rewarded for my efforts. That's the one thing when it comes to these kind of games is that you need to get lucky. So by getting lucky, I mean just, you know, weird stuff happens at different times. So it's like, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. I've got a feeling we're gonna find Surf here very soon. Glacier badge. Alright, so that's 6 badges. No, that's 7, I beg your pardon. And that gives us access now to Radio Tower as a result of 7 badges. And a 4-star. That's a good item at least. Yeah, I could never cleanly get through this path because of like how slanted it is. Like right here, I always at least bonk once. And the bonk counter usually just adds up as a result. And we're not talking about Ice Path either, where like you just bike through a bunch of boulders and ice, and you just end up with a pretty bad concussion. Alright, so now that that's done, I think now I want to take this opportunity to check Route 44, which is the next route east. There's 3 checks. Well, this game is pretty much leaving me no choice but to break logic in rock tunnels, so I'm going to do just that. I am going to need a little bit of serious time to navigate through the dark, because navigating through raw tunnel can be a little bit annoying, but as long as I can concentrate, I think I can do it. Oh, okay, Blissey is experience. Well, see you later. Over 4,000 experience, which is insane. Practically a level. Alright, here we go. Okay, that was the hidden that I was worried about in the first room. Got through it pretty well. I did take a few bongs, but it's fine. Alright, a couple more checks. Alright, one more. Alright, nothing here, but it was worth a good try. One more check, but I'm gonna take the center here. Just because, like, if I find teleport out of nowhere, I can just come back here and turn in the machine part once I find Surf. We'll see what happens. Okay, nothing here. Alright, well, you know what time it is, folks. It is time for Radio Tower. Let's get rid of these rockets. So this is going to be a relatively long section. If you've watched Crystal regular speedruns in the past, you'll know that the rocket sections can be a little bit boring. But because we have the card key before getting the basement key or whatever, then we can actually just access all of Radio Tower. I think I have the basement key. I am going to mark it in advance. I forgot to mark it earlier, but I believe I do have the basement key. There's a Tauros. Alright. It's gonna be a few fights, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. Again, nothing really in particular, but it does unlock quite a bit. It unlocks a secondary shop in Mahogany, which I'll see if there's any progression there, like Surf. I did a practice seed again on this particular check with card key, and Surf was behind the second shop. Okay, that's info on one of Bill's grandpa mons. As I mentioned, Lickitung, Oddish, Starry, Growlithe, Pichu are 5 mons for Bill's grandpa. And Bill's grandpa's very notorious for Pichu having a badge, and it's the Go Mode badge. At least about half the time, but I don't know, it just could be me. I don't know. stuck with this Crobat from the very beginning. Alright, here's one of the real tests. It's level 36. Oh, it's a Bellsprout. Well, see you later. Or as Gary Oak would say, smell you later. Alright, 2 more fights in Radio Tower, then we got the False Director. Oh, okay. That was a very interesting switch out. The AI can actually swap out Pokemon at any given time. Depends on if the mod that they switch out to, they favor a move that's super effective against what they're facing. And I do also have Rock Smash. I do remember to mark that down. I know I purchased it a while back in Agritic, but in Celadon. Just never got to mark that down. But I also have the basement key. Oh my gosh, I got the wing attack of Heracross. Oh boy. That thing never stood a chance. And neither did Team Rocket. They are gone for good. Alright, 3 checks here, and then I gotta go fight the False Director. Alright, nothing there. Alright. 6 folks, all level 30, I believe. I always appreciate the music that's in Gen 2, especially with the Rocket theme. And a certain theme that we'll be hearing later on. I don't know if we're going to hear it in the Elite Four or at the very end of the game. My number 1 favorite theme in this game, that being the Lance or Red fight, whichever one comes up first. Oh, that's rude. Okay, Soul Badge on the False Director. You can't make this up. Like, I'm getting thrown a curveball every single time that I'm trying to do a check. Like, come on, can I catch a break? Am I just being sandbagged right now?
They're not letting you have this easy.
Well, I mean, at least I'm getting checks done. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we did the thing though. Did the thing. We got the badge. We're 1 step closer to achieving Go mode. That's what matters here in this randomizer. Let's mark off Goldenrod for right now. You know who I blame for this? I blame T-Taraj for selecting this seed. I know you're here, so... I'm asleep. Inside and out. Sorry, I can't do that. Oh, let's go. Goodbye, Sing. Wow, that's the best sleep move in the game. Spore. That's... okay, I'm tempted to just stick with this Crobat to the very end. That's enormous. Alright, well... I mean, I know Spore still exists out there. The only way, and I'm very much emphasizing this, the only way I will main switch is if a freaking Mewtwo exists somewhere. And I'm dead serious. Alright, Fishing Rod. Why is there a fishing rod in the basement? Somebody leave it there? Alright, there's nothing in the first room. Alright, got a few more checks coming up here. Oh, Marsh Badge. Oh, and we also got the jingle skip there. So one unique thing that we can do is actually we can skip the jingle. Oh, there's the expansion card as well. Wow, we're just finding everything. That's really good though. We're Pokegear away from a level 50. Let's go back to Mahogany and see what's in the post-rocket shop. But as I was saying before, we can do what's called the jingle skip if we move correctly to the item very quickly. So it's one unique thing that most runners will tend to do from time to time, myself included. Alright, let's get Rock Smash checks out of the way real quick. I know I don't have Flash, so Dark Cave is still out of logic. But I can unlock a check in Burn Tower as a result, and on Route 40. We'll check those here in a second. Oh, there's the Pokegear. Alright, well, that's a 50, and that is West Kanto access. That's a pretty big find. I'm still just gonna get Route 40 out of the way real quick because it's a one-off check, and I've already done everything that I can in Olivine except for Sailor Huey. Okay, nothing here. Alright. Any guesses on what the level 50 might be? What are your calls? I'm gonna call that it's probably gonna be a Persian.
We have a guest in chat for Bayleaf.
Bayleaf, okay.
A Jigglypuff? Ooh. We have some good guesses from the chat.
Yes. It's a ladybug. A ladybug, huh? I'll catch it because it's a repel Pokemon that I can use in Mount Silver. That's the only way I'm catching it. Also, ladybugs are good luck, so hopefully we'll get some good luck the rest of the way in this run.
We're manifesting here.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
please embrace the hopium.
Copium.
Yes. Okay, so nothing here. Alright, we're gonna start checking West Kanto for some checks. So just X attacks. I'll keep that in mind if I have to come back this way. Actually, you know what? I'll buy them right now, since I have a habit of forgetting where X items are. This is one of those occasions where I do not want to forget. And since I'm probably just gonna wing it out with this Crobat the rest of the way, no pun intended, I think it's fair to just get X attacks and set up for red whenever possible. Volcano badge. There's another Kanto badge. So we are now down to how many badges? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 badges from done. The badges left remaining are plain mineral glacier, not glacier, but a cerulean badge. It's Cascade badge, Thunder badge, Rainbow badge, and Earth badge. Rainbow Wing. Rainbow Wing is 1/2 of access to Tin Tower. Blue card's also here. Blue card is a check in Radio Tower behind Buena. We'll check that when I have a moment. Alright, that's all for Route 2. Blue card I've seen have a bunch of key items in the past. So it's possible there could be something that is an unlock behind it, like maybe like Surf. We still don't have Surf. I saw TMO3, not HMO3. I got pretty baited there for a minute. Alright. Green meter guy, that's a check. And it's a candy, okay. I'll take it, I'll take it. Just real quickly, I'm gonna go to Route 1 and go get my fly point to pallet. Oh, actually, I want that max revive. I'm gonna get my fly point to pallet so that way, when I go to Professor Oak with 16 badges, and that way I have easy fly access to go talk to him. Alright, let's go back up here, because I think the next thing I had in mind was I'm gonna get my fly point to Mount Silver. Alright, do I have repel up? I do not. PM15 is what, Foresight? Okay, so that can get sold when I go back to a shop. Alright, let's get our fly point. I'll gladly check the cut items outside, and then I will proceed with the next plan, and that is go turn in that blue card. Blue card's more important than ever, since that was one of the first 2 checks in West Kanto. Alright, one more. Okay, nothing here. Let's go to Radio Tower. That's where the blue card is. So we've got run ball. Nothing on blue card. Okay, so it knocks that out of the equation. And also getting the Pokegear, that also means that not Pokemon checks, but phone calls are officially in logic, because we have Fly and Storm Badge in addition to Pokegear. Let's actually, you know what, let's go back to the Crobat for right now. I'm going to start getting these phone call trainers out of the way. There are 5 phone call trainers that I can take care of right now, and the trainer, well, actually 6, technically. The trainers are Bugcatcher Wade on Route 31, Schoolboy Allen on Route 36, Picnicker Gina on Route 34, and Gina can only be done if you've completed Radio Tower with the card key, so keep that in mind. Gina is the 3rd one. Last Dana on Route 38 is another phone call trainer. Fisherman Tully on Route 42, which I'll be doing next after this, and then the trainer that I just fought, Fisherman Wilton. Wilton is the worst out of the 6 phone calls that I currently have, because every time you call him, it's about a 50% chance for a rematch call. And normally on these trainers, you do not want a rematch call. So we're hoping to get some good RNG with these phone call trainers. Wow, 134 speed at level 43. It's actually pretty significant with this Crobat. And when you factor in with speed, Crobat's actually not a terrible mon when it comes to situations like this. At 130 speed, you can do so much. And you can still set up efficiently depending on what your moveset is. Take on Dana. So I've gotten Wilton, Tully, and Dana's phone calls. All that's left again are Wade, Allen, and Gina. I almost pressed start to fly. Don't forget to get the number. There we go. Alright, 3 more phone call trainers to fight, and then I'll start the phone calls. And there's a certain method that us runners normally use to get the phone calls activated. So upon register in the phone numbers into the phone book. We go to Newbark, we talk to Mom about daylight savings, and we keep alternating on and off between daylight savings until we get a phone call from one of the trainers. Sometimes one of the trainers will ask for a rematch, the other will just give you their item, and then you have to visit them on the route. So, that's part of what the phone calls are. And we've seen phone calls in the past not just give badges, but important key items that have led to either progression or go mode. So there's that. Alright, so Alan's more faster to get to from Ekritique down to Route 36. And then after this I got one phone call left. That's Gina on Route 34. I'd say so far we've made some pretty decent progress on the tracker. Just a shame I still have yet to see Surf. It's not that it's going to be important on the Crobats moveset because it already has the endgame moveset. I think the only thing I would preferably take over Wing Attack is Drill Peck. Aero Blast I would absolutely take for the last fight in the game. But it's totally not necessary. Yeah, having that Spore insurance is huge though, especially for later fights when I go back to Kanto. Because after these phone calls, I'm going right back to Kanto. Because normally in a maximum solo, what I like to do is balance out my checks between regions. And this is one of those examples. Alright, what do we got? That's Wade's item, that's good. That's 1 for 1. So what I like to do is I like to slow down with the instant text and like to see which route and what phone call I get between trainers. That's Dana. Alright, we're 2 for 2. We're on good track so far. And I say between phone calls because if I get a rematch call, I just soft reset. But that's the importance of why I do this every single time upon deleting a phone call. Alright, nothing there. We just keep going. Nope. Okay, Gina, please don't. Okay, there we go. Yep, that's Wilton right there. Like I said, 50% chance for a rematch, unfortunately. So we just have to reset and try again. Yeah, it's twice. I've been known to have these kind of encounters multiple times where I've gotten multiple rematch phone calls and just not the item. And you may notice also the phone call trainers don't have their actual names or whatever. In the speech voice settings, the trainer classes and usernames are randomized in there as well. And most of the usernames that you normally see are competitors from past rando tournaments. So if you look very closely, competitors like Zinedine, for example, Waka is another person that I've seen play quite a bit of randos. Montebank is another person. There's a huge list of runners that have done randos in the past, and just they've been a key part of the action in these tournaments. And yes, even Trickums is in there too, but I disagree that I'm calling him by Trickums, and I'm not calling him by Clefafan. Alright, all that's left is Wilton. Come on, please just give me the item. Oh, come on, that's like 4 resets on Wilton already.
This is reset number 4? Reset number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Alright, I'll be counting.
5.
5.
Yep, 50%. I think that's a lie.
Chat, any guesses? Any guesses on how many resets it'll take?
There we go, we got it.
Oh!
Nice.
5's the magic number.
High five the sky.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's go check out these items really quickly. I'm gonna start north here, start with Dana, Tully Wilton, and then work my way down. Okay, nothing on Dana. Alright, Tully next. Okay, I went one tile too early to the right there, so unfortunately an optional, but it's okay. It's only 2 pokes, I think. Could be worse. It's gonna be a waste of like 15 seconds. It's okay.
Yeah. You know what? It's a good 15 seconds to tell you about MAGFAST. This is a live and in-person charity marathon raising money for Child's Play. They do amazing things such as providing games and board games to children in hospitals around the world. Our current dono total is $10,689.69. Our goal is $12,000 by the end of this weekend. So please scan the QR code, go to magfest.org/magfast, and click the link in our bio to donate.
All right, what you got for me, Colin? Nothing. Gina. You're like the one call I was worried about. Nothing. Alright, one call left, and that's Wade. And if it's not that, then it's definitely in West Kanto, I feel like. Either that, or maybe even in, on Route 12. Nope. Alright, none of the phone call triggers are needed, but those are checks that, you know, are I guess, out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes runners, they don't usually check those. So, that had to get done. Alright, that said, I am going to Victory Road. There's several checks there as well. I'm bound to at least find Surf here if I feel like I need it. I haven't seen Surf, Flash, or Waterfall to correspond with the badges that I have. Alright, so before I check these last 2 items, I'm gonna fight Rival 5. And then check the Indigo Plateau shop afterwards, because that counts as a shop, and shop sanity do be a thing. Alright. But yeah, this Crobat is really has put in a lot of hard work. So proud of this Crobat. Like I said, the only thing that would make this significantly better is if I learn Drill Peck on level up, or I find a TM for it. But for right now, Wing Attack will just do just fine. With Stab, it's like, I think it's 60 base power or 65 base power. With Stab, it's like almost 100. So. How's my defense situation looking? Just one. Man, oh man. Just nothing. Alright, 2 checks left. One of these... The Surf is bound to show up at some point, but where is it? Not here. Why I escape route out that way? It is what it is. Alright, let's check Route 27 really quick. Let's put you in the front here to repel from grass. Forgot to switch. Alright, it's only one poke. Normally it's a trainer that's blocking your entrance to the guardhouse, or to the reception gate, rather. Smeargle, that's free. There is another item. I believe. Okay, nothing. If it's just here on Route 12, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I mean, there's only one check, literally just one. I think Erica's also available too, thanks to Cut. Yeah, Erica's 100% in logic. Oh, there's strength. Alright, so... Still no plane badge. That doesn't help. You know what? I'm gonna go Brock Route 4 for my next play. Mark that off. And let's go for it. Scyther. Nothing really too threatening in that first fight. This could be a different story, because I'm fighting level 41 to 44 mons, I think. Try this one. Spark's not as bad, but it's still kind of annoying. Especially when it has a high chance of paralysis. Gosh, I hate when the input just kind of drops a little bit. Alright, last one. Okay, see you later. Here. Yo, imagine if it's just in Mount Moon. That's gonna be really annoying. I've seen my fair share of bad checks already in this run. Can I not see any more, please? I mean, Soul Badge on False Director. There was a badge, I think, on the Fabulous Prize. I believe it was Glacier Badge. There was Fly on Morty. Like, what else can this game throw at me?
Hopefully it'll get better, right? Copium?
I would like to believe that.
Take a nice heaping breath of copium, and the seed will get better.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It is the seed of all time. 100%.
It really is.
It is.
Ow! Look at what Ice Beam. Ow, that hurts. Oh, wait, what do you mean you have both legendaries in this gen? Okay. Why do you have Ho and Lugia? That's absurd. It just keeps using Thunder Punch. I mean, I can understand why, but come on. And just this thing. Oh, stab rock slide, okay. I see. Alright, Shadow Ball. Die. Dodrio. Alright, 2-shot. Alright, the hard part's over on that one. I don't have to fight Rival, I think, ever again? Mr. Egg? Okay. If that has Surf, that's gonna be really, really annoying. And Maximum Item Rando. Maximum Pain Rando, am I right? All in the name of charity. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, folks. Alright, so I have a fight that I have to do here, but I have 2 checks. I Surf. It is Elite 4 a lot. Like, Elite 4 behind Surf, I think, could be a thing. I've never seen it before, but I've heard a mythical stuff that it does exist. And if that's the case, then... all I can do is shake my head. But I digress. Okay, nothing on round 4. Alright, I guess the next gym is Erica. Erica is in Logic. Alright, so where are we at right now? We're at about, I'd say roughly close to 2 hours in this run. So I gotta start thinking about the potential of Elite 4 here soon. Usually I put a timer as to like when I should start Elite 4 and when I should start Pokemon checks. Pokemon checks usually are about like in the last half hour-ish of the run. So I'll think about that here soon. But I still got a lot of key items that are remaining behind specific checks. There's Surf, Flash, Waterfall, and I don't have either the Plane badge, I don't have Surf for it, I don't have, well, I have Zephyr, but I don't have Flash, and I don't have Waterfall, but I have Rising. Like, half of the badges that interact with one another, I have one part or the other, I just don't have both. To me, it would be very convenient if I had them, so...
We have a $10 donation from Sarah Nymph. God bless the 7 a.m. MAGFest speedrun, and shout out to Dan and Ivan for being real ones. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. What is our total at right now for the marathon? We're at, looks like, almost 11 grand for the marathon. It's amazing. Alright, nothing on Erica. I guess Sabrina next. I'm just trying to clear out the Kanto gym leaders before I continue. I don't have lost items, so I cannot do that here yet. Lost item, I would go to that house that we passed on the left. Turn it into the copycat girl. Normally that check is for pass, but that check is randomized too. Praise Lord Helix. Alright. One more. Oh, this was a free fight. Why didn't I do this earlier? Okay, nothing on Sabrina. I've seen Sabrina have a badge in the past. Just not today. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna do something that I never thought I'd be doing. I'm gonna check Ice Path. There's a plane badges there that's by Blackthorn Access. Blackthorn City Access. I'm trying to think outside of the box right now where this potential progress could be. And there's so many ways still. There's still quite a bit that needs to be done, even with the checks that I have left, which are like a handful. Because I have Dark Cave out of Logic, and I still don't have Flash. Route 46, which is out of Logic as well. I think I did Rising Badge already. There's Ice Path, these 3 items. There's Mount Silver, which is out of Logic because we don't have Flash. And Lieutenant Surge. Oh, I can't do that, I forgot. I need Strength. Or Plane Badge, rather. More. Okay, nothing here. Nice try, though. I don't know if I did this check already. And one thing I forget to mention as well, Elite 4 seeds are my 100% specialty. Like, there's just no way around it. In every tournament race that I usually do... Alright, 5 elixirs is good. In every tournament race that I normally do, Elite 4 is usually required. So I'm fighting Surge, and I'm going Elite 4 after this. So I'm gonna bite the bullet and just proceed to just do what I do best, cause more havoc to a maximum seed. So. Alright, time for the Lieutenant Surge. If Surge has nothing, then I'm gonna proceed to Elite 4. Because the rest of these checks are out of Logic. Shadow Ball, my Shadow Ball. Let's put it to sleep. It's fine. Alright, that is Surge down after this spawn. There we go. No shot. Clear Bell? Really? Oh, come on, game. As if things couldn't get worse. I now have to go to Tin Tower. This truly is the path of all time, and Chad is just...
God, yeah, this is the seed of all time.
Yeah, Chad's just thriving in what I'm just going through right now. We call that content, folks.
This is content. Can we get a donation to Child's Play for this amazing content?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is so cool. Can we get $10 to Child's Play?
Oh, come on. Why did you have to land Sam Cannon again? Okay, finally. So with that, happy 2 hours of the run, folks. One important thing I should also mention with the Ho-Oh check coming up is that the Ho-Oh's level normally is level 60 in Pokemon Crystal, but for the purpose of the randomizer, the level has been nerfed down from level 60 to level 40, just so that way is an easy catch and an easy check for the Ho-Oh chamber in Ruins of Alph. Alright, now we get to go fight the Suicune, and get our access to Tin Tower. Where I'm pretty sure Surf is gonna be, and then we have more checks that we gotta do. That cry sounds familiar. Oh, it was a Magmar. Okay. You know what? Just get out of my screen. We have a huge amount of checks coming up here in Tin, and I swear if Surf is not here, I'm just gonna go Elite Four like I was planning on doing before.
We gotta see.
But odds are it's gonna be here. I'm almost like certain there's something that's gonna be here. And I still have, I think, 6 badges to go until I'm finished. Not here. I do routing normally based on what that check is. There's Flame Badge. That's good. There's Flash. Alright, so that puts Dark checks in Logic. So just everything's here in Tin. Alright, so those checks, and then I'm gonna hop down these ledges here, and I'm gonna save before this pillar. If it is a required item, then, you know, I'll just proceed. If not, I'll just soft reset back to where I was before. Just like that. Makes it easier, and it conserves a lot of time having to, instead of backtracking, you just backtrack after the save reset. Pretty optimal strats. Coming up on some teleport tiles here. On the left. Oops, that's not optimal. Pokedex, okay. Not what I wanted to see, but oh well. The good news is that Pokemon checks are still not in Logic, and they're not quite in Logic for a while. Not until Surf Waterfall. Alright, more. Okay, so it's just Strength and Flash. That is a Ursaring. Also, Bear! Where do I go from here? Alright, check the one check here in Burden Tower, because now we have strength access. Did I ever do the Rock Smash check here? I'm gonna double check that while I'm here too. It's always good to double check whatever stuff you think you miss, and make sure you get everything taken care of, because it is very easy to miss something that you think you have, but you really don't. I'm also teaching HMs real quickly while I'm in the menu. Alright, I did check that. Alright, strength check, and then I'm out of checks and burned. It is a speed reducing move. I am running low on escape ropes, so I gotta be very careful with that. I'm gonna go Mount Mortar. And then afterwards, I'm going to Blackthorn. This has been a very weird path up to this point. But, you know, how much have we done? Alright, 2 more checks. That would have been good any other time, but it doesn't fit in my moveset right now, considering I have Spore as, like, the lead move that I'm going to be using for most fights. Why I escape roped out? It's alright, though. It was just easier. Alright, so we're gonna head towards Blackthorn. I still can't get any of Claire's checks because Claire, although I've completed Radio Tower, unfortunately, with not having Surf, I'm not able to complete everything in Dragon's Den. So there's that. Alright, so I'm going to try to do what's called swag boulders here. Got my rappel up. Precise movement on these boulders, anyone? Good recovery, okay. Alright, I've done these checks already, so we can just proceed. He's candy. Max Revive is always a great find. Two more checks, and then we're in Blackthorn City. And then there's going to be more checks coming up, because there's another shop that we have to check. Alright, nothing else here. Alright, and then also another weekly sibling exists here in Blackthorn, that being Santos. Nothing Santos. And now for another mark that we can check. A lot of money to work with if I need to buy some more healing or whatever. What's my repel situation like right now? Okay, should still be okay on repels. There's Surf. Alright, that's what I was looking for. Let's mark this off. Yeah, a lot of my map just opened just now. Oh man. I hate to see it, but it's alright. I mean, we were gonna find it sooner or later. If I'm able to get the item from Black Belt Kenji, I want to show like a very nice bug that exists on Kenji, and it's not what you think it is. So, normally Kenji gives you his phone number for an item, right? You can talk to him again, and you can get his item right then and there, which is a Hyper Potion, but talk to him again. He just gives you duplicates of the item. So I could just get him over and over and over again. Normally this is not allowed for tournament matches because of the bug, but it exists for that reason. I figured I'd show it off while we're doing this run. Also, we got lost item. Let's teach Surf. So I'm gonna toss those hyper potions because, yeah, they don't exist. Nobody saw or heard of these things existing. The evidence has been thrown away. Okay, well, I got one of them back. Fair and square this time. Alright, let's go back up here and let's head for Dark Cave, since that's fully available to us. So there's 3 checks in this first room, and then there's 4 in the second room behind Rock Smash. So we'll get those out of the way, and then I think after that, Rock Smash will be fully done, and we won't need it anymore. There's the Rainbow Badge. So we are 4 badges away from being finished. Our final 4 badges are Mineral Badge, Cascade Badge, Thunder Badge, and Earth Badge. And any one of those, believe it or not, can be behind a Pokemon check if it comes down to it. Never marked the Pokedex, by the way, which I should mention, and I have Lost Item. Lost Item is only 1 check, though. That's in the conversation of what we call a fetch quest. Because all it is just 1 item, 1 check. 1 for 1. Right, 2 more items on this part of the Dark Cave. 1 more. And empty. Alright, I'm gonna go get some more escape ropes here soon, TM. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish Mount Silver. They have Surf available and waterfall checks that I can do inside, and they're all in logic now because I've got Surf. However, I'm gonna do this first room in the dark because I've played this numerous times, and I'm not too concerned. I just know it's in logic, so. I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna check these 2 checks going down. Okay, nothing there, so we just go back up, and then we just continue our checks up here. You may notice also I didn't check the first 2 items in the first room. That's because once I escape rope out, I'm gonna check those 2 items first thing once I go back in, and then just bike out. Would help if I. Oh, I don't have waterfall. I thought I had waterfall. Oops. See, like, you try and, like, I get ahead of myself sometimes, and I think I have something that I don't. So that's why I'm like, I get ahead of myself sometimes. You know, that actually would have been pretty funny if waterfall was right there. Let's start doing checks in Johto. Starting with Cherry Grove. Alright, Cherry Grove's nothing. Checking Violet. I have Azalea that I can finish with Slowpoke Well, Union Cave, and then I can do every single Ruins of Alph chamber that's left, that being the Ho-Oh chamber, the Waterstone chamber, and the Flash chamber all together. So it's more of optimizing checks in that regard. Okay, nothing in Violet. Alright, back to Azalea we go. While these checks are going on here, I guess there's really nothing going on. If you want to go ahead and talk about our charity of choice, Child's Play, this is the perfect time to go ahead and plug that for us, please.
Will do. Hello, everyone. I'm taking over host duties. I'm yours truly, the Hexel One HCH, Hardcore Hex. We are still raising money here for Child's Play charity. All proceeds go directly to them, 100%. We do not touch it. It is there to help out children, sick children in need in hospitals and across shelters all over the world. They sponsor all over the world. They have been a huge supporter of MAGFest for many, many years. And we are currently sitting at $10,699.69, which is unprecedented for this event. Hopefully, my goal is by the end of today, we hit $15,000. And only the way we can do that is with your support and your kindness. So if you want to, please check out !donate in the Twitch stream. Or if you're here in the audience, we do have a QR code over here to the right of the stage that you can scan. We also got plenty of incentives and polls that are going on right now that you can put towards the different games that we got going on here at MAGFAST. Definitely, like, coming up right now, after this one, we got the Final Fantasy X run, which currently right now, Titus is in the lead, but you can change it to Titus by donating and raising that incentive. That is all to you. And of course, if you can't donate, and we do understand that, please share out the stream. Let everyone know what we're doing here at MAGFAST. Share out the link, twitch.tv/MAGFAST. Thank you guys so much for your kindness, and I will give it right back to you, Nate. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, and thank you as well. And it's an honor, again, to be a part of MAGFAST. This is my third year being a part of the speedrunning crew here at MAGFAST, so it means the world to me whenever we do these kind of charity runs where we raise money for Child's Play. And to me, not just speedrunning means a lot to me. Raising money for a good cause is the only thing. And so again, thank you very much to everybody that has donated over the last couple of days. And let's see if we can get that goal to 15,000 by the end of the day. Alright, so I'm checking the Ruins of Alph Chambers right now. I fought the Ho earlier in Tin Tower, so I went to go check that first. And I can only access Waterstone Chamber if I have Strength here, so I will do just that. You may have saw I put Waterstone on one of the mons that I have HMs on. That's simply because you just gotta have Waterstone either in your bag or on a Pokemon, and that chamber just opens. Alright, a lot of nothing so far. Alright, nothing here, and then I got the Flash Chamber, which I can just hop this ledge and then go right here. Let's go here, Flash, and then the chamber will open. Mark these off real quick.
We just got a $10 donation by Mako here in the crowd, keeping bad news company. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Alright, checking really quickly this plain badge check, which is in the flower shop. Normally where Squirt Bottle would be. Okay, nothing there, and then I'm just going to quickly check Route 35. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and go to Whirl Islands, which I have access to because of Leash Badge. Okay, nothing there. Alright, well, this is either going to be huge, or it's going to not be huge. High risk, high reward coming up. We're going to also check the level 60, and I have to ask, what does everybody think the level 60 is going to be here in Whirl? Because it could be any Pokemon. It could be, 1 in 251 shot. Poliwhirl? That's not a bad selection. I have the Waterstone still. I can make that a Poliwrath. But honestly, I like Politoed better than Poliwrath, my opinion. Still, I 100% respect the choice. I'm doing this also in the dark, so another reason why I like to do this in the dark is because before I got into maximum item randomizers, or any kind of randomizer like this for that matter, I used to play what's called Cinco Bingo with folks in that community as well. And shout outs to the Cinco Bingo folks. No way. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Oh, chat's gonna have a field day with this one. The best Pokemon in the game, Mewtwo. Alright. Mewtwo Psychic, anyone? Alright, it had a TM. What did it have? That lol stab side wave. Not happening. I don't have ropes. That's a problem. NT. Keep forgetting to buy ropes. It's okay though. I'll just check these and I'll go back to the top island. Flash out of here. That's absurd. Why of all Mons was the Mewtwo the Lugia? I will never understand these randomizers sometimes. The game is such a cruel mistress sometimes. Alright, I'm gonna save here. I still don't have ropes, so I'm gonna go back and do the Northeast Island. Considering there's still quite a bit of items in the big room that I need to do. Oh, by the way, Standing Rivals. I mentioned that previously, that I did not get the cutscene done and taken care of in Jasmine's gym. As a result, there are Standing Rivals instead of swimmers in the water. Flash here. And let's check this big section once and for all. I'm hoping that the escape rope is just here, so I don't have to worry about save resetting. Okay, nothing there. There's the other Zap Cannon. We don't necessarily need that, honestly. Alright, last item. It's a candy. You know, I'll keep it. Every candy counts, especially on red. Never got this item outside either. I'll grab it real quickly. There is a hidden item right here. And it's nothing. Alright, well, Whirl was bait, unfortunately. Just big bait. Alright, what's in the pharmacy? Just gonna get some forest stores. Might as well start stocking up on them. Alright, next fight that I'll be doing is in Chuck's gym. Chuck has 3 checks behind him. 2 behind Chuck himself, and then Chuck's wife normally gives Fly, also gives an item afterwards. So, we have quite a few fights that we have to climb our way up until we fight Chuck. I've had this Crobat since the very beginning of the run. Hard to believe. We've been through so many adventures together. Now we're gonna become champion. Be a Pokemon master. Oh, that's a blissy. See you later. Gladly take that experience. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Gonna burn a couple of elixirs really quickly before I continue. Eggs, 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 eggs. Starmie, okay. Alright, Chuck only has 2 mons, so this shouldn't be too hard of a fight. Should be pretty quick. Especially when he adds mons like that. Alright, one more. Oh, Victory Bell. Nope. Nothing there. Cross Trap. That, you know, that might be a considerable option for red as well. Thinking about it. But I think Earthquake wing attack is still better, in my honest opinion. With Shadow Ball for the psychic coverage. Oh, there's nothing at Signwood, excuse me. Alright, we're getting narrowed down to specific checks here. Back to Mount Mortar. It's hidden. I forgot it once upon a time. Oh, it's a rope. I want it. I want it. I want it. Yeah, that's very important because I don't have a dig TM right now. If I had dig, this would have been a different story. Mineral badge, nice. Alright, we're down to 3. And are all Kanto badges. Alright. 5 checks in this room, and then there's a huge check density behind Waterfall coming up. Well, actually, we still don't have Waterfall. I keep forgetting we don't have it. Alright. 2 more checks. No, I've always found this kind of music to be very ominous, but just, you know, very suspenseful. It reminds me of Lavender in Gen 1. Alright, note to self, go buy escape ropes. I'll do that after I'm done. I just said don't do Waterfall, and I still do it! Come on, get it together. I just have moments where my brain just autopilots. My apologies. I do this every time, like if I do a rando on stream, and it's like, what the heck am I doing? Anyways, there are ropes here, I know for sure. Question is, which floor was it? they were on 4. They may have been on 5. No? Oh, okay. Well, so much for that idea. I know they were in a shop somewhere. I'll keep checking a shop until I find it. When you have shop sanity, it's hard to remember where most items are, unfortunately. Check Cerulean again. Also, I could turn in the machine part. I keep forgetting that with Surf, that gives me that option. Not here. Alright, you know what? While I'm thinking about this, I'm gonna go ahead and go turn in the machine part. That unlocks more checks, and then unlocks 4 more phone calls that I can do. So I will do just that. And also I have the Berserk Gene that I can do. Berserk Gene is the Surf locked item on Route 24, I believe. Or it's Cerulean, rather. Right where the old Cerulean Cave used to be in Gen 1. Turn in the machine part real quick. So the checks that open up now as a result of the machine part getting turned in are the expansion card check, which is in Lavender. There's 2 underground checks on Route 5, and then the lost item check in the fan club in Vermilion. I'll check those really quickly since they're just one-off checks. Maybe that'll give me an excuse to find where escape ropes are too.
We just got a $12 donation by Mako. $3 for each waterfall forgotten so far in this run.
Oh, of course.
Thank you so much, Mako.
I take full responsibility for that. But thank you for the donation. I just would like to see another Kanto badge. That would just be very helpful and puts me one step closer to go mode. Oh, no ropes here either. Wow, where the heck are they? Alright, check these real quick. Alright, one more. And then I got the Cerulean gym, if that hasn't been checked already. I don't think that's been checked, but I will check in a moment. I fought Sabrina already, so I'm not too concerned. I am gonna go turn in lost item right after I check this. No. I'm gonna go back to Johto and check for ropes here. Maybe it's an Olivine? I'm not sure. Okay, so we know lost item is nothing. Alright, so I got those marked off. I bought Surge already, I believe, so I'll just do that. Mark it off my tracker. Ah, there they are. There's the ropes. Okay, cool. So, I think now I'm gonna go wake up the shiny. Let's see what the shiny is for you folks here in the audience. Oh, it's a Krabby. Oh my god, a shiny! As if nothing happened. Remember folks, Krusty Krab is unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there. Alright, I think I have no choice at this point but to start Rocket Hideout. There's a huge amount of checks that remain that I'm not too certain about. At least one badge has got to be down here, or maybe Waterfall. so I don't forget about it ever again. Maybe I should forget about it again. Yeah, I think the moral story at this point is, I guess Crobat's gonna go all the way at this point. I think this is the last encounter that we have with the rockets in this seed, because I cleared out Radio Tower and I cleared out Slowpoke Well. So I think this is it as far as the rockets. So they'll be blasting off after this encounter is done. Alright, so we come down over here to this scientist, we fight him, and then we have to interact with that computer monitor that's on the desk. The reason being for that is because it shuts off the security cameras on those statues. So, which is why I have to take this fight. It's, I wouldn't say mandatory, but it is preferred. Because you don't want to keep fighting 2 rockets at a time just to get to where you need to go. Another rare candy, you love to see it. Before I check the traps, there are 3 trap Pokemon that'll be on the left side of where this first room is. I'm gonna check one of them. It's a Wooper. Another candy, okay. I'm gonna save and I'll check the cries on these other 2 traps. It's a Squirtle. I'm very familiar with the cry. Well, most of the cries, I should say. It's a Hitmonchan. Alright, so none of the traps are needed, and we can just proceed with the rest of Rocket Hideout. Alright, so we've got a few fights coming up here, and one unique thing about the Speech Waste as well is that normally in the vanilla game you have to fight 2 rockets for 2 passwords for Slowpoke Tail and Raticate Tail. Also, why did I try doing Earthquake on a Zapdos? Silly me. Anyways, there's 2 passwords that you normally have to get in order to fight the Rocket Executive. In the Speed Choice, you don't have to talk to them again. Once you've fought them, you automatically get their passwords. So right after I finish off both of the rockets, you'll just see me just go straight into the room where the Murkrow is. Yeah, this Crobat's making short work of most of the mons here. Like I said, there's got to be at least 1 badge down here. Something, at least. Goodbye, Dio. Got a few more checks. Oh my gosh, another candy. Alright, well, the candies are just stockpiling at this point. It's gonna be a matter of how many candies we have before we get the red. Alright, let's go ahead and fight the rocket. So yeah, I'm almost out of checks, believe it or not. Really just have Price's Gym, I have Claire coming up because now I have Whirlpool access. And then I got the machine part stuff, and I also got Route 34 that I need to do, which is the route below Goldenrod. So, not many checks left. But I figured I'd do Rocket Hideout because it was a pretty high check density. Usually, again, when it comes to check density, I try to figure out what amongst the remaining checks I have that have the most checks. Rocket Hideout had about, I think it was like 7 or 8 checks, whereas Dragon's Den has like 6. So that was my first option. But Dragon's Den is going to be my second option here because it's usually something like with Claire or Card Key having something behind it, and there's just no way around it. Alright, let's guess the cries on the electrodes. What do we have? The lantern. Not too fond of it. The Scyther. And finally, Kabutops. Alright, that takes care of the electrodes, and it takes care of the rocket hideout sequence. I still got 2 more checks after this. Well, technically 3 if you count the 2 checks on Price. So I'm gonna fight Price first, and then check the guardhouse. So we're about to find out if the price is indeed right. Get those marked off. Alright, so Price has 3 Pokemon in this party. I believe his ace is like a level 31 if I recall correctly. Normally it's Piloswine, but we don't know what Price has. That's a Bulbasaur. It's another Blissey. Goodbye. Eggs. Alright, that was an easy fight. Alright, nothing there. Alright, let's go to the guardhouse. Rocket Hideout's probably going to be 100% bait, let's be honest. Do I have the Magikarp still in my party? I do not. So, actually, I'm going to make a play here. Even though poke checks are still not in logic because of Waterfall, I'm actually going to go ahead and put the Magikarp that I caught earlier, put that back in my party. Because there is a check after you complete Rocket Hideout in order to, hold on, do I have Magikarp? No, I guess not. Thought I had Magikarp for a sec. I'm gonna check the guardhouse really quickly. There is still 1 check behind the guardhouse. Okay, nothing there. Alright, I'm going to Claire. Claire's like the only good play that's left. And then after that, I'm going to the Elite Four. Something I should have did earlier. These fights can be rather annoying in Claire's gym, especially with the movement. And on top of it as well, as I explained earlier in this new randomizer setting, you can escape rope out of gyms and certain buildings that you can either escape rope out of or use dig. So we're going to use that tech in Claire's gym because navigating your way to the exit from fighting Claire is really annoying. That's another reason why I said I needed to stock up on escape ropes. Oh, Gyarados with Aeroblast, that's actually kind of frightening. Pain Split, no. I felt enough pain as it is in this seed. Why more? so far. Alright, 2 more fights after this, and then we have to go to Dragon's Den. I really hope there's at least something here in Dragon's Den. Even if it's just a singular badge, I'm perfectly okay with that. That at least put me much closer to where I need to be. Okay. Alright, now we're coming up on Claire. Claire has a level 40, and that could still be frightening given the circumstances of Crobat's attack. So, find out what happens. That should be no problem. And another thing I should bring up as well is that for fully evolved Pokemons, any trainer that has a level 50 or higher will be forced to have a fully evolved Pokemon. So for example, Lance could still have a Dragonite in his party. Or Claire could just have a Gyarados. Okay, that's very close. It is a water Pokemon, but it's not a Dragon type. Albeit it was close. Alright, so we got the one fight in Dragon's Den, and then just the rest are checks. Come on, game. I really would like to see some good RNG here. Red scale, that's at least an additional check that I can do after I leave here. But odds are it's not going to have anything. After all this time buying escape ropes, we knew Dig was going to show up eventually. It's too little too late. So Dig's just going to sit in my TM inventory forever. Alright, so we got the quiz coming up here in this next section for 2 checks. And then I got 3 more checks afterwards. So actually in total it's 8 checks, so I should have maybe did this first instead of Rocket Hideout. But there was just no good way around it. Alright, but if Dragon's Den has nothing, then I think I just straight up go Elite 4. Oh, what? Okay, that's bad. That's unreal. Now, that puts Pokemon checks in logic, unfortunately. And that's just not the thing I wanted to see. My goodness. Elixir's very helpful, but not enough to change the mood right now. Alright, one more check. Okay, there's nothing else here. Waterfall, I guess, could be an out towards badges, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I think with Waterfall being accessible now, now I'm going to head back to Mount Border and finish those checks. And yes, we won't forget about Waterfall anymore. You're welcome. Don't forget to use Waterfall, forget to teach Waterfall. That's what I forgot to do. Alright, now we can finish these checks here. There's quite a bit of items in the first room, and then there's like 4 or 5 in the second room. So I'd say roughly about 10 items here. And then I got the red scale that I gotta do. I don't know, folks. Man, it's gonna be great if I find the last 3 badges very quickly. Alright, so after these checks, I still have some phone calls that I gotta do. I got a red scale. I think I'm gonna go Elite 4 after this, like I said. Got a gut feeling. Alright, nothing in the first room. Got about 3 more checks. 2 more. Last one. SS ticket, wow. This is awkward. You know what? I'm still going to Elite 4. Trusting my gut on this one. At least y'all get to hear the best theme in the game, in my honest opinion. That being the Lance and Red theme. Alright, let's do it. Time for E4. Alright, so we're starting on Will, and then from Will we go to Koga, and then Bruno, and then Karen. I never thought it'd come down to this, folks. Never thought that Elite 4 would be the play that I'd have to do at the end of this seed. But, well, here we are. I'm gonna be busy with Elite 4 for like the next 2-3 minutes here. Hoping that I can get something out of this. If I do, then it's gonna be enormous. What's the point of splashing? You know, I'm putting you to sleep. I already knew I wasn't gonna one-shot the Quagsire, but, you know. Alright, on to Bruno. Definitely don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. Nice amnesia. Doesn't work. Oh, what? You don't one-shot the Psyduck with Wing Attack? Come on. That was a low range there. That feeling when you get low rolled in an RNG game. Happens to the best of us, I guess. Alright, second to last of the Elite Four here. Well, the last of the Elite Four and the last fight before Champion Lance. That makes me wonder what Lance's ace is going to be when I get over to that fight. I've seen him have a Dragonite as his ace. And it actually had Outrage once upon a time. Espeon. Espeon, my favorite evolution in my opinion. I know this opinion is very subjective to everybody. I guess I could ask a question for anybody that may be in the audience. What is everybody's favorite evolution and why? Mine, like I said, is Espeon. Alright, best theme in the game. Here's Lance's theme. All that for a Pidgey as his lead. Okay. Yeah. There's that Magikarp info I was looking for earlier. Okay, I'm gonna have to Elixir here, because both of the moves that I have for Togetic doesn't hit. P. Alright, now it's time to find out what your ace is. Venusaur. Alright, we have defeated Lance. We're about to find out if this play actually paid off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until the game fully saves, and then I'm gonna soft reset again. Because I've seen runners in the past go too early on the soft reset, and they've lost all their progress up to that point in the fight. Alright, so let's... there we go. Alright. So Elite Four gives us a few additional checks. Gives us the SS ticket check, which we're about to do right now. There's 2 rematch calls that we have to do. And then the GS ball on the department store. And also the Rainbow Wing check. I'll do that real quick, the Rainbow Wing check. Because it's just one quick check right there. It's gonna be very upsetting if V4 is that required, then I have to just do Pokemon checks. And who knows where I'd be able to find all the Pokemon checks and stuff. Coin case? Come on! You're kidding. That's the last key item that I needed to mark on my tracker. Oh well. I needed to go to Goldenrod anyways because I need to get the GS ball check, so I guess it's convenient for me. Oh well. Alright, looking behind GS ball. Now we go to the game corner. Hey, that was a sludge TM. Nothing poke-wise here. Usually I like checking Pokemon in Game Corner just to see if there's any information. Let's mark this off. I'll check Celadon real quick and then turn around and start the E4 checks. Oh, come on. Unknown Dex? That's actually not required. Togepi for 2222 though. Man. This has been a heck of a time. Alright, let's get Todd's number. So there's 2 Elite Four calls that I have to do. It's Camper Todd for the rooftop sale, and then Youngster Joey on Route 30 for the rematch. Let's make sure I got my Repel up, which I think I do, yeah. I haven't done anything on 34 yet. That includes the Soft Sand Girls, which I'll do right now. Another candy. I'm actually about to start using my rare candies here soon. Now, granted, I already have Togetic. I don't have to worry about Togepi in the game corner, so I'll just do that when I have a moment. But it's 3 fights here on Soft Sand Girls. So. Alright, one more. Mark that off. Soft Sand Girls. Let's go ahead and fight youngster Joey real quick. Okay. So while that's going on, I'm also going to start doing some easy checks to kill some time. Let's get rid of these surf and surf cut checks on 12. Alright, so I have one more check, I believe, here. You know what? I'm gonna take the boat real quick. Just narrowing down to a possibility of what checks it could be. So we are almost out of checks. We will be very soon. And we still have 3 badges left. I've got a good feeling that maybe one of them is behind Pokemon checks. And I get to show that off. Pretty good music on the boat. Alright, so at least behind the boat I get 3 checks here. And then... Oh, goodbye, Clef. Dricums, I hope he was watching. Alright. What check are you gonna give us? Please at least give us a badge. No. Alright, so there are 2 hidden items when you get off the boat. You just surf to the opposite side. Like when you go to Olivine, there's a surf check on the left. And then when you go back to Vermilion, there's a surf check on the upper right part in the water. That's... and this check. Alright, nothing behind the boat, it was just a bait. Let's get these phone calls activated and let's get E4 finished. Alright, that's youngster Joey. I don't know why I saved there, it's okay. Alright, just let it go. This is it, the one we've all been waiting for. Please have a badge. Please. Alright, I'm gonna start the rematch fight first, and then I'll go ahead and do the rooftop sale. Because the rooftop sale is gonna be what determines the outcome moving forward. Hi, Pikachu. Nope, nothing there. Now, I think potentially the last check in Goldenrod. Unfortunate. It's alright though. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that it's Pokemon checks. So I think with that I'm gonna get my Pokedex set up and ready to go here. Let's Dex Lickitung and see where that's at. Lickitung is on Route 34. Rock Tunnel I think is the best target though because it's less encounter slots. So I will do just that. Alright, and then another feature we have with catching Pokemon is we have a feature called Dex Area Beep. As you heard right there, when you go to a specific room in a specific location, it'll tell which room that Pokemon is in and where you can catch it. So, very convenient, and it's also a useful thing that we use for catch-em-all randomizers. Alright, there are 7 slots here on the ground. We've seen 2 so far. The good news is I've already done Route 25. Bad news is I have to go back up the route again. In 3 slots already. I prefer not to see that again. Magneton. Okay, so 4 out of 7. Five out of 7. Please just show up. The one easy location, and the game is just not making it easy. Oh my gosh, I've seen every encounter slot except for the Lickitung. That's unreal. Like, what is going on? Hello? Oh my goodness. At this rate, I'm gonna find a full odds before I find this thing. Oh my goodness. I'm about to bite the bullet and go check Route 34. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Like, this is ridiculous. There it is, finally. That was frustrating. Alright, next catch is Oddish, I believe. So let's take a look and see where that is in the Dex. That's easy. It's Newbark Water, so we'll just head over there. Water's 3 slots for anybody wondering. Didn't mean to go there. No wonder where Professor Elm found the Crobat at. Alright, understandable. gosh. Is the Oddish a rare too? My goodness. Like, you cannot make this up. Dude, come on. 3 slots and I see both of the slots before the Oddish. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. Man, oh man. There it is. Alright, well at least we got 2 out of the 5. At least one of these has to have a badge. If not, then we have a serious problem. Alright, let's find what that Staryu is. Staryu is Victory Road and Burn Tower. I'm just gonna go Burn Tower since I'm in Johto. It's 14 slots, but it's 7 in each room. Let's see if I can find the Staryu. That's in the bottom floor. Since the Dex area beep did not go off there, I know which room it's in. So is the Delibird, apparently. Alright. Ditto's here, wow. I would have caught that any other time, but reading is too slow, and I don't want to waste too much time with that. Just please show up. Wait a minute, why is Racco in Burn Tower? Excuse me? Come on. Snorlax, okay, I've seen, what, 4 slots already? This encounter look is so bad. Hey, do be like that. Please, game. My goodness. Alright, I think I'm gonna check another spot where it could be. Victory Road, I remember. That's where I saw it last. At least we know it's just the same 7 slots in Victory Road. Nothing more, nothing less. Easy. Yeah, because I definitely gotta go start these Pokemon checks soon. Please, that's 3 slots already. Let me just confirm and make sure that the Staryu's here. Yeah, it's here. That's 4 slots. Still stuck on 4. There it is. Wow, that took forever. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get Bill's Grandpa done in one shot here, if I can. Alright, Growlithe. Don't have info Growlithe. Alright, so let me go ahead and deposit some pokes and add some really quickly. let's hope that at least one of these pokes will give me something. Because, man, I definitely need it. No doubt about it. And then I'm just gonna probably do some more easy checks. I still have the waterfall checks in silver that I can do. Let's save. Just gonna teach Surf to any of the mons that are on the bottom. I gotta check the Surf sheet. Oh, I never did buy a go-go here. So this is the machine part check. There's nothing there. So now I'm going to trigger Misty's cutscene. In addition, turn in 3 of Bill's Grandpa Mons. That leaves us with Growlithe and Pichu afterwards. I remember this part of the journey. This is where I found Fly earlier. And the whole fiasco went as you would expect. Alright, what do you got? Nothing there. Nothing there. And nothing there, wow. Alright, we'll have info. Alright, gotta hope I can find these badges quick. Not much more left, though. Nope. Alright, let's go to Mount Silver. Finish those waterfall checks. I have 4 checks coming up here. Okay, there is hope. There is hope. There's 1 badge. Alright, 2 to go. Cascade and Thunder, where are you? So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, great. That's just great. Alright, 1 to go. Let's go ahead and continue poke checks. Growlithe. It's the route below Pallet. it's 10 slots, but I can check the water first. Route 21. Fish. Come on. Not now. Okay, I know 2 other slots exist, please. There we go. That was a clutch find. Alright, where's Pichu? Pichu's in Necrotique Water, that's easy. Another 3-slot encounter. And if it's not here, then I think I just go ahead and do the remaining phone calls for what I'm looking for. Alright, seeking, not here. Bayleaf, okay, so it's 2 slots out of 3. There's Pichu. Alright. Please. Please let it be one of these 2 poke checks. I'm also gonna go ahead and take out the Togetic and go check that as well. This entire time and I haven't even taught the bill. What a shame. Okay. I have Meryl that I can do, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. This is my high priority. I hope it's this. Come on. No. Alright. I guess now the plan is to go to, before Toja Falls. It's literally just Cascade Badge left. That's the only thing I have left. I don't think I've checked these yet. I'm gonna feel like... I don't know if the Cascade is here. Okay, so it's not that check. Just let it be here. Not here. Let's go to Jose, get his phone call. There's the Sportium. We don't need it anymore. Getting close to the time here. Yeah, I tell you what, even in spite of the brutal seed, I mean, this has been an adventure. This has been quite the adventure. Oh, first try Van. Not Vance, but Jose. That was actually interesting. If it's just Jose, then that's gonna be huge. Normally I don't get first try Jose, and most of the time it's usually a rematch call. I get at least about 3-4 rematch calls on Jose. Checking this. Yeah, I don't have that many checks left. There it is. Nice, we're in go mode at the right time. Wow, that... I could have played this a lot better, but, you know, I did what I could. Alright. At least we're still gonna finish on schedule, that's all that matters. Alright, before the fight, let's... It's 14 rare candies, by the way. 62... I imagine we're gonna have no trouble on red, right, folks? Right. 7... 68... Let me hear it. Alright, let's max elixir here if I have it, and then let's just get going. I think I talked to Oak already, let's just make sure. Here we go. Alright, let's put an end to this once and for all. Gosh, I'm just glad this is over with. What a seed. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I mean, that was quite the adventure. If you did, please consider donating to Child's Play, folks.
Speaking of donations, we just got a $25 donation by Trickums. Says, Nate, you have done amazing. 2 pink menaces defeated, plus a little extra for this troll of a seed that exceeds all expectations. Congratulations again, bud.
Thank you very much, Trickums. GG's in advance. Let's set up the next attack. Alright, so 2x attack should do here. So we're going to try to sweep its spore and just go from there. Alright, I am going to call time soon here, so get ready. Time will be when the done button screen shows up. So again, I will call that out in just a second. Alright, one more mon to go. Sunflower. See you later. Alright, and that is time. Wow, what? I can't even begin to explain what this seed was like. But, you know, we pull through, and that's all that matters at the end of this run, so. Man, oh man. So, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you very much, MAGFAST, as always, for having me. As I said, this is my 3rd appearance, and I think this is probably, in my honest opinion, even in spite of everything that happened, this is my favorite run of the entire marathon that I've been a part of. And again, I'm grateful for the staff, for everybody behind the scenes for making this all happen, to all the staff, G folks being here as well. Really appreciate you all for coming out this morning, and in spite of everything that happened, we all made it together. We all definitely did it together, so. We have a lot more exciting runs coming up on day number 3 of MAGFAST, as we ever push so closer to the $15,000 goal for Child's Play. And remember, for you folks watching also on the MAGFAST Twitch channel, please check the link below the stream or !donate in the chat. All donations, 100% of the proceeds benefit Child's Play. And I think with that being said, folks, thank you very much for hanging out. It's been an honor and a privilege to be a part of the MAGFAST family. And take care, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the marathon, folks. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up once again for BadNewsNate.